Hello there and welcome. In this video, what we are going to take a look at is how we can install Passbolt on a CentOS 8 machine. So basically, Passbolt is a password management solution, and it allows you to structure your password, and it has a nice full-blown feature set, so to speak. So first things first, what we have to do is to install Docker on the CentOS machine. And basically, we have to install the yum utils. And once the yum utils are installed, we have to add the Docker CA repository. And once that is done, it is basically going to be able to install Docker. It takes a little bit of time, but once it is complete, we should be able to proceed with the Passbolt installation and configuration. So I'm using the machine which is called CentOS 8A. And yeah, it takes some time to install the updates. There are many ways to install Passbolt, and if you want, you can try out or use the community version for free. And here in the documentation, you have the option to take a look at how you can configure your Docker compose file, which will allow you to use it to its full extent. Once we bring up the containers, we have to create the first user, which is able to complete the registration. Okay, so now we have to install and configure the Docker CA repository and install Docker. Yeah, it is going to download 100 megabytes, but it should be done pick pack. All right, that is up, and after that, yeah, we should be able to do it. There is one thing that we have to basically modify, and it is going to be the app-based URL, and this is in the docker ca.yaml file, and it will have to be adjusted to the machine name. Otherwise, it will not be able to connect or log in. So as I say, CentOS 8A sudo su systemctl stop firewall d set enforce 0, just to make sure, and it is almost down. Once Docker is installed, we are going to adjust my current user's privileges to be able to technically use Docker without sudo. Let's give it a yes. And this is going to be done with the user mod-g docker and reaper.py. It is not created yet. For whatever reason, recently I have noticed I have 3 virtual machines. This is, by the way, VMware Workstation, and this CentOS 8 machine started to misbehave. So every time I start it, and after like 5 minutes, it is going to lose the IP address associated with the VMnet1 adapter. I'm not sure why this is happening, but that's it. So systemctl enable Docker, systemctl start Docker, And we will also need the Docker compose file, and this can be downloaded with this command. So you see URL, copy it to the appropriate basically location, and after that we are going to adjust with chmod the permissions. Okay, now I'm going to log in again to the CentOS 8 machine. So CentOS 8A machine, and if I issue the Docker PS, I can see, and I also have the Docker compose. Great. Now I'm going to use wget to download the compose file, and I have to install wget. All right, so let's do it once again. Great. And there is a checksum file which also has to be downloaded, and after that we have to be able to compare the checksum with the Docker composes checksum. This says okay, and now we have to edit this file, and here we have the HTTPS CentOS 8A that we have to write, and now we can use the Docker compose -f docker compose ca.yaml up and -d. This should bring up the containers, and I'm going to use the magic of editing, and after that we should continue. All right, so the magic of editing. As you can see, now our containers are down, or rather up and running, and basically what we have to do is to create a user. And in order to create this user, we are going to use this command. So basically it is going to execute the user creation command. And there we go. Now we have to complete the registration by visiting this URL. And if I go here, advanced, proceed, we have to download an extension for Chrome, and we are going to add it. Yeah. And it is still processing. Great. So now we go with the next, set a master password. And yeah, next. This is going to be red. And there we go. Now we have the web interface available, and basically from now on what we can do is to manage our passwords. Let me bookmark this in the bookmarks bar, and here we have the option to create folders. Let's say this is called automation, and inside this folder we can create stuff. So basically if we go here, we can create subfolders, or by clicking on that folder, we can create a new password, TOTP, etc. So demo password, HTTPS CentOS 8.a reaperpie@gmail.com, and the password, and I can create it. Basically, every time we want to modify the contents, we have to enter our password, but we have the option to remember it for a given period of time. And under the administration, We also have the option to use time-based one-time passwords. And if you click on this, you can download, for example, the Microsoft Authenticator and use that to log in. You also have the option to use Duo or YubiKey. We also have the option to configure when an email notification is sent, and we can specify the SMTP server. We also have the self-registration. It's by default disabled as a security measure. We have role-based access control, where we can fine-tune our instance, so to speak. All right, so that was all I wanted to show you. See you in the next one.